Hello, wonderful gardeners, and welcome back to Time for Gardening. If you are looking at your tiny patio and feeling a little uninspired, or maybe you are dreaming of a lush, English cottage garden but think you need a sprawling estate and a fortune to create one, this video is exactly what you need. Today, I am going to prove that size and budget don't matter when it comes to charm. We are walking through 30 incredible budget-friendly ways to transform your humble concrete slab into a whimsical blooming oasis. From clever privacy hacks to vintage upcycling secrets that will save you hundreds of dollars, we are covering it all. So grab your cup of tea and get comfortable, because you'll want to watch until the very end. I've saved a special living decor secret for idea number 30 that you absolutely do not want to miss. Let's get growing. One of the biggest challenges with small patios is feeling exposed to neighbors or staring at a drab fence. Instead of building a new wall, let nature do the heavy lifting by installing a simple, weathered trellis or repurposing old lattice panels. This adds instant architectural interest and defines your space without making it feel closed in. Once your structure is in place, plant fast-growing climbers like sweet peas or morning glories at the base. As they scramble up the woodwork, they create a lush, living tapestry of green leaves and vibrant blooms. Not only does this provide a beautiful shield for privacy, but it also draws the eye upward, making your cozy patio feel much grander. If you have limited floor space, the sky is literally the limit. A single hanging basket is lovely, but to create a true cottage garden feel, try staggering baskets at different heights using S-hooks and chains of varying lengths. This technique creates a cascading wall of flowers that mimics the abundance of a large English border, all while hovering right above your head. For the best effect, mix trailing varieties like petunias, fuchsias, or lobelia. As these plants grow, they will spill over the edges and merge together, creating a floating curtain of color. It is a brilliant way to soften the hard lines of a patio roof or pergola, surrounding you with blooms without sacrificing a single inch of floor space. There is something undeniably charming about vintage wooden ladders. They tell a story of work and history. By leaning an old paint-splattered ladder against your patio wall, you instantly create a rustic shelving unit perfect for a tiered garden display. It adds verticality to your design, breaking up the monotony of flat walls. Treat each rung as a shelf for your favorite potted plants, placing trailing ivy on the lower steps and cheerful geraniums near the top. This setup allows you to pack a lot of variety into a tiny footprint, and because the pots are elevated, you can easily tend to them without bending over. A win for your back and your budget. Interior designers have used mirrors to expand small rooms for decades, and this trick works just as well outdoors. By hanging an old window frame fitted with a mirror on a solid patio wall or fence, you create an optical illusion that doubles the visual depth of your garden. It reflects the greenery you already have, making a tiny courtyard feel like a secret gateway to a larger garden. To integrate it seamlessly, allow some vines or tall plants to grow around the edges of the frame. This softens the reflection and prevents birds from flying into it. When the sun hits the glass just right, it bounces light into shady corners, adding a sparkle that makes the entire space feel airy and magical. Who says garden planters have to be expensive? A canvas over-the-door shoe organizer is one of the most practical tools for a vertical edible garden. Simply hang it on a fence or railing, and you suddenly have 24 individual pockets ready for planting. It's a space-saving miracle that keeps your herbs organized and off the ground. Fill the pockets with lightweight potting mix and plant compact herbs like thyme, basil and parsley, or even strawberries. The canvas material allows for excellent drainage and breathability, keeping the roots healthy. Plus, having your herbs at eye level makes harvesting for dinner a breeze. It's functional, quirky, and perfectly fits the make do and mend cottage philosophy. To truly transform a patio into an outdoor room, you need to soften the hardscape with textiles. Hanging sheer, thrifted lace curtains on a simple tension rod between porch pillars or beams adds an immediate touch of romance and whimsy. The fabric filters the harsh sunlight, creating a gentle, dappled glow that is incredibly flattering and relaxing. Beyond the aesthetics, these curtains provide a psychological sense of enclosure and privacy, making your patio feel like a cozy sanctuary. Watching the lace gently billow in the summer breeze adds movement and a dreamlike quality to the space, inviting you to sit down with a cup of tea and stay a while. Nothing screams English cottage quite like fine china, but chipped teapots and cups are often discarded. Rescue these treasures from the thrift store to create adorable miniature planters. The delicate floral patterns on the china contrast beautifully with the earthy textures of soil and plants, creating a whimsical Alice in Wonderland vibe. Before planting, be sure to carefully drill a small hole in the bottom for drainage, or use them as cache pots for nursery pots. Fill them with sweet violas or tiny succulents and cluster them on a tabletop. These small vignettes invite your guests to lean in closer and appreciate the tiny details, proving that you don't need big plants to make a big impression. For a bold rustic statement, look no further than a large galvanized wash tub. These sturdy metal containers are relatively inexpensive and provide enough soil volume to grow substantial plants that would usually require a garden bed. The silver-gray metal pairs wonderfully with green foliage, giving your patio a timeless farmhouse aesthetic. Use the tub as a focal point in a corner, planting a miniature hydrangea or a mix of tall perennials and spilling grasses. The height and volume of the tub allow you to create a garden within a garden. Just remember to punch plenty of drainage holes in the bottom, and you have a durable, movable garden bed that will last for years. Wicker brings a natural, woven texture to the garden that plastic or ceramic pots just can't match. You can often find old picnic baskets or waste paper bins at yard sales for pennies. These baskets add a warm, cozy feel to the patio, making the transition from indoor furniture to outdoor planting feel seamless and organic. Since wicker can rot if it stays wet, the secret is to line the basket with a plastic trash bag, poking holes in the bottom of both the bag and the basket for drainage. Fill it with lush, moisture-loving plants like ferns or impatiens. The spilling leaves will soften the rim, creating a basket overflowing with life that looks like it was just gathered from the wood. Kitchenware often makes for the best garden decor, and old metal colanders are practically ready-made planters. They already come with drainage holes, making them perfect for plants that hate wet feet. Painted in pastel shades like robin's egg blue or soft yellow, they add a pop of cheerful color to your overhead display. Attach 3 lengths of chain or sturdy twine to the handles or rim to create a hanger. Fill the colander with soil and trailing plants, then hang it from a hook or a low tree branch. It's a playful, budget-friendly twist on the traditional hanging basket that adds personality and a sense of humor to your cottage garden. If you have an old dresser that's past its prime, save the drawers for the garden. Stacking 2 or 3 drawers in a staggered formation creates a quirky tiered planter that looks like a waterfall of flowers. This upcycled project adds significant structure and height to your patio, acting almost like a piece of furniture. Drill drainage holes in the bottom of each drawer, and treat the wood with a sealant to help it last longer outdoors. Fill them with spilling blue lobelia or bright marigolds. The result is a charming cascading display that looks as though nature has reclaimed a piece of your home, perfectly capturing that wild and free cottage style. An ornate birdcage is a beautiful architectural object on its own, but filled with plants, it becomes a living sculpture. Look for vintage cages with interesting shapes and rust details. The bars of the cage provide a perfect frame for the plants inside, protecting them while showing them off, creating a look that is straight out of a fairy tale. Since bird cages are open, line the base with moss or coconut coir to hold the soil in. Plant a variety of hardy succulents or trailing vines that can poke through the bars. Hanging this from a hook or setting it as a centerpiece creates a magical captive garden effect that is sure to be a conversation starter. In a small space, gardening is as much about scent as it is about sight. Scented geraniums are the unsung heroes of the patio. Their leaves release powerful fragrances like rose, lemon, or peppermint when brushed against. They are sturdy, drought-tolerant, and have a lovely fuzzy texture that adds softness to your container arrangements. Place these pots right next to your favorite chair, or along a narrow pathway where you are guaranteed to brush past them. This interactive element engages your senses and immerses you in the garden experience. Unlike flowers that bloom and fade, the scented foliage is there all season, providing a constant source of aromatherapy. You might think roses need a sprawling estate, but many varieties are bred specifically for container living. Patio roses or miniature roses offer the classic romantic bloom shape and fragrance of their larger cousins, but stay compact and manageable. They bring that quintessential English elegance to even the smallest concrete slab. Choose a deep pot to accommodate their root system and place them in a sunny spot. Deadhead the spent blooms regularly to encourage new flowers. Having a rose bush on your patio creates a focal point of sophistication and beauty, proving that you don't need a massive border to enjoy the queen of flowers. To define the edges of your patio without building a fence, use rectangular planters filled with lavender. This plant is iconic for a reason. Its silvery green foliage looks good year-round, and the purple spikes provide a stunning color contrast. Plus, the soothing scent wafting in the breeze creates an instant atmosphere of relaxation. Line up identical troughs or mismatched pots along the perimeter of your seating area to create a low hedge. Lavender loves the heat radiating off patio stones and requires very little water once established. It attracts bees and butterflies, bringing life and movement to your oasis while acting as a fragrant barrier from the outside world. Cottage gardens are famous for their tall, vertical flower spikes, and foxgloves are the classic choice. While they usually grow in the ground, they can thrive in heavy, deep pots on a patio. Their towering height draws the eye upward, breaking the horizontal lines of fences and furniture, and adding a touch of wild woodland drama. Plant them in the corners of your patio to soften the angles. The bell-shaped flowers are loved by bumblebees, and they come in stunning shades of pink, purple, and cream. Just a few pots of these statuesque beauties can give your small space the depth and layering of a mature perennial border. Why choose between a vegetable garden and a flower garden when you can have both? Interplanting edible flowers like nasturtiums and calendula among your greenery is a hallmark of the cottage style, which has always been about utility mixed with beauty. These plants are incredibly cheap to grow from seed and offer vibrant, warm colors. Let nasturtiums trail over the sides of your pots. Their round leaves and bright orange blooms look delightfully messy and cheerful. Not only do they look great, but you can also pluck the flowers to add a peppery kick to your summer salads. It's a practical, tasty way to add abundance to your patio design. The secret to professional-looking containers is softening the hard edges of the pot. This is where spiller plants come in. Plants like Creeping Jenny with its chartreuse coin-like leaves or white bacopa act as a living skirt for your planters, blurring the line between the container and the plant. Ensure every single pot has at least one trailing plant tucked into the edge. As they grow, they will cascade down, covering the rim and sometimes even reaching the floor. This creates a lush, overflowing look that implies abundance and maturity, making your garden feel established, even if you just planted it last week. A small bistro set is the perfect scale for a patio, but new outdoor furniture can be pricey. Instead, hunt for a second-hand metal set, even if it's rusty or the wrong color. With a little elbow grease and some spray paint, you can transform it into a charming vintage feature. Sage green or robin's egg blue are perfect choices for that soft cottage look. Don't worry about sanding it to perfection. A little texture adds character. Once painted, this set becomes the anchor of your outdoor room. It invites you to sit with a morning coffee or an evening glass of wine, turning a garden space into a living space where memories are made. Concrete patios can often feel cold and uninviting, more like a garage floor than a garden oasis. The quickest fix is to lay down an outdoor rug. Choose a woven material in a warm tone or a subtle pattern to instantly define the living area and ground your furniture arrangement. This simple addition changes the acoustics and the temperature of the space, making it feel softer and warmer underfoot. It acts as a visual bridge between your indoor living room and the outdoors, signaling that this is a place for comfort and relaxation, not just for storing the grill. Lighting is the fairy dust that transforms a garden from day to night. For a budget-friendly and magical solution, fill simple mason jars with cheap solar fairy light strings. You can hang them from shepherd's hooks, dangle them from trees, or simply cluster them on your table. As the sun sets, these jars begin to glow like captured fireflies. The soft, warm light creates an intimate atmosphere without the need for expensive wiring or electricity. It's a nostalgic DIY touch that makes summer evenings on the patio feel enchanting and cozy. The sound of trickling water is one of the most relaxing elements you can add to a garden, masking traffic noise and soothing the soul. You don't need a plumber or a big budget. Just grab a large ceramic glazed pot and a solar-powered pump kit. Seal the drainage hole, fill it with water, and you have an instant fountain. Place the solar panel in a sunny spot and hide the cord under some rocks or plants. The gentle bubbling adds a dynamic sensory layer to your oasis. Birds will visit for a drink, and the shimmering water adds movement and life to your still garden, turning it into a true retreat. To achieve that imperfectly perfect cottage comfort, you need to pile on the textiles. Gather a collection of mismatched floral pillows. You can often find them at thrift stores or make covers from old linens. Treat them with a spray-on fabric protector to help them resist moisture and sun fading. Keep these onto your chairs or benches to encourage lounging. The mix of patterns, stripes, florals, and checks contributes to the collected, unpretentious vibe that defines cottage style. It tells your guests that this is a place to kick back and relax, not a showroom to be admired from afar. Garden tools can be beautiful decor in their own right. Start a collection of old metal watering cans, looking for ones with interesting shapes, zinc finishes, or layers of peeling paint. Grouping 3 or 4 of them together on a step or a bench creates an artistic vignette that celebrates the act of gardening. They aren't just for show either. Use them as casual rustic vases for cut flowers or branches from your garden. The juxtaposition of the industrial metal with delicate blooms encapsulates the cottage garden aesthetic, beauty found in utility and simplicity. Personalizing your garden doesn't have to cost a dime. Collect smooth river stones and use outdoor craft paint to turn them into garden markers. Distinctively painting names like sage, mint, or basil on them adds a handmade artistic flair that plastic tags just can't compete with. You can also get creative and paint ladybugs, bees, or inspirational words to hide among the foliage. These little discoveries are delightful for visitors to find. It's a fun, relaxing craft project that adds a layer of personality and love to your garden bed. A cottage garden is never just for the gardener. It's for nature, too. A small pedestal bird bath serves as a perfect focal point, drawing the eye to the center of the patio. It breaks up the greenery and adds a structural element that looks beautiful even in winter. Keep it filled with fresh water, and you will be rewarded with the sights of bathing sparrows and drinking bees. This brings energy and movement to the space. Watching the wildlife enjoy your garden creates a deep sense of connection and peace, reminding us that even a small patio can be a vital habitat. Light is a key element in setting the mood, and you can manipulate it with color using a simple DIY technique. Take a plain glass hurricane lantern or a clear jar, and paint it with transparent glass paints to mimic a Tiffany lamp or stained glass window. When you place a candle inside at night, the colored light casts beautiful, jewel-toned shadows across your patio table. It adds a sophisticated, artistic touch that looks expensive but costs pennies to make. It's the perfect way to add a splash of color to your evening entertaining. Show your eco-conscious side by creating a small bug hotel for beneficial insects. Bundle together hollow bamboo sticks, pine cones, and twigs, and pack them tightly into a small wooden box or an old tin can. This provides a safe hideaway for solitary bees and ladybugs who help keep your garden healthy. Tuck this rustic shelter into a quiet corner or hang it on a fence post. It adds a wonderful natural texture to your decor and serves as a conversation piece about sustainable gardening. It proves that your patio is part of the larger ecosystem, welcoming nature in all its forms. New terracotta pots can look stark and orange, lacking that established, always been there feel. To fast forward the aging process, blend a handful of moss with buttermilk or yogurt to create a slurry. Paint this mixture onto the outside of your pots and keep them in a shady, damp spot. Within a few weeks, soft green moss will begin to grow on the clay, giving your pots an ancient, weathered patina. This simple trick adds instant character and history to your container garden, making your new plants look like they are part of an old English estate. The entrance to your patio, whether it's a back door or a gate, sets the tone for the entire space. Hang a wreath made from materials gathered from your garden, like dried herbs, grapevine, or seed heads. It signals to anyone entering that this is a space where nature is cherished. Change the wreath with the seasons to keep the decor fresh and relevant. A lavender wreath in summer, dried hydrangea in autumn, or evergreens in winter ensures your patio always feels tended to and welcoming. It's the finishing touch that ties the whole cottage garden concept together. And there you have it, 30 simple, affordable ways to bring the magic of a cottage garden to your own back door. I hope this proves that you don't need a massive yard to create a sanctuary. You just need a little creativity and a love for plants. Whether it's that upcycled ladder or the scent of lavender in a pot, these small touches add up to a big transformation. If you found a spark of inspiration in today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a new gardening adventure. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these 30 ideas are you going to try first? Are you Team Teapot Planter or Team Vertical Trellis? Let me know. Until next time, remember to make time for gardening in your busy life. Happy planting!